Hello there, my beautiful souls. Welcome into a daily read for Friday or thereabout. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. But I just split the deck as I struggle to get this reading going. This is the Elemental Oracle deck, and we're beginning with the Richness card as well as the Passion Soul card. So this Friday is meant to be passion-filled, all right? It's meant to be a rich kind of day as well, where there's experiences of importance. There's a change in the air and the wind. There's a feeling, if not several, of importance that you're meant to gain throughout this Friday. So listen to it, trust it, maybe even jot it down, write it down if, especially if you're busy or maybe don't have the best memory like myself. But I do feel as if this collective, you being drawn to this reading specifically, your third eye is very wide open at this point along your path. And so there's something within this Friday when it comes to that. I feel you're seeing, sensing, feeling things very accurately. You even feel things that you don't see as the truth when they are, okay? And so there's a focus upon that so we can tweak our perspective, our just, trusting a bit more when it comes to what you're feeling very accurately, because it's meant to be a very intuitive day, and that's part of the richness, all right? But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot going on upstairs in your mind where you feel it's a bit hard to silence it at certain points or in general, and I guarantee at least some of which, like myself, hear spirit through their thoughts, their dreams and whatnot. So it's not always that black and white. It's not always that easy to quiet the upstairs department, if you will. Anyways, but the rain card as well, saying that Friday is meant to be a time of abundance. It feels like a storm of some sort recently was cleared away, came to an end, past is now what I'm hearing. And so it feels like now, in a different sense, it's like the storm, the difficulty started to dissipate, and now the abundance is meant to rain on in. Does that make sense? And so that's again talking about this being a very rich period for you, where the passion again feels very relevant, but there will be at least one significant point throughout the day, or a chunk of time, could be multiple for some, where there's silence. Feel it, embrace it, even create it, okay? Because I feel this collective is in need of this silence, all right? You're maybe even wanting to prioritize it at a certain point, if not multiple once again. But let's move on to the tarot portion of your reading. What else do we have? The Two of Cups was just shown to me at the bottom of the deck. I feel there's something about you really easily drawing people in, connecting with people at this time. And so I wouldn't be surprised if people want to talk to you, and at certain points you might be in this mode, this energy and kind of mood where, maybe not a mood per se, but you get the point, where you're just not really looking to socialize or to fill the silence with chitter chatter is what I'm hearing. But it does feel like people will want to talk to you regardless. But the Queen of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Wands, and the Moon card. It feels like there's something, I'm getting very Two of Swords energy from these two together. There's something about you not knowing it all and needing to trust once again in a different sense, So trusting in the mystery of your path, your purpose, and your existence. Again, all the meanwhile trusting in your intuition and what you're feeling very accurately at this time. But I do feel as if you are giving off extreme mystery yourself, okay? The Five of Swords is here, but again, it feels like for the most part, the storm has passed, you know what I mean? But then there might be certain uncomfortable or abrupt, stressful factors within your life, maybe bad energy. I know for me, I have to go into my serving job. That'll play into it partially. But the Queen of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, because my friend, the wheel is churning in your favor. You're a compassionate soul, and that shines bright, especially throughout this day. And you can't help but feel the need to get your voice out there. All right, I'm hearing speaking your word. And I feel like that's a card in, no, not this deck, maybe, I don't know. But I do feel as if you are a bit showy. You're feeling maybe even stoic at certain points, a bit stiff and maybe needing to shake it off, get a bit of a release. but it does feel like you're wanting to get a lot done, and that's going to be coming in handy. All right, that productivity, that motivation, that drive within you coming to the surface more than ever will be transitioning into results, okay, rewards even. I do feel like it's a continued period where, in a sense, it's like we're each needing to catch our breath. You know what I mean? I feel like you've been through a lot, you know, and whatever ends up or was for you, it feels like your path is being smoothed out in a sense. There's also maybe a bit of a focus, and that this could be continued as well, on living your life more. You know, your life has been too familiar. Your life has been too expected. The same old, you know, cycles on repeat, or, you know, even if there's space in between, they're still on repeat. You know what I mean? And so choosing different will maybe be a focus for you as well. But at the very least, finding certain, even small ways to live your life more, you know, get out and about. Don't just choose the same over and over and over again to the point of the same damn results, okay? That is just spirit being very hardcore and honest with you. But I really feel like you may have Leo heavily aspected in your chart like myself. I'm a Leo sun if you're new, but I'm being shown the lion. Sorry about that. There's a school across from where I'm living right now. But I do feel you are courageous as a soul, and that's being reminded to you and other people maybe. But there's a sense of you really standing tall and proud. You're holding yourself with a sense of confidence unlike any other. Does that make sense? And I feel people are paying close attention to this. People want to know why. People want to understand how things have been going for you recently because of maybe what you shared previous to that. Maybe because you've been a bit silent or less vocal about what you've been going through. And there's just a feeling of people wanting you to update them, but be selective, okay? Be strategic. Not everybody needs to know every single thing that you have been and are going through or contemplating, or maybe have chosen. But I feel like this is a time for you to be lessening in certain ways. Does that make sense? It could be habitual, you know, habits playing into it, or one in particular. It could be, again, what you're saying, speaking. It could be in regards to approach, all right, in one if not multiple ways. But I do sense that they're saying at times, my friend, remember, apply it. Less is more, okay? And I know that's kind of contradicting to say in the midst of me just channeling like nonstop, you know? But I don't really have too much of control over that. Anyways, there's a significance in regards to a small white dog for some. I know for me, there's a little white dog that lives in the backyard of the new house I live in. And I feel like there's a trustworthy energy about you as well. There's something about you giving off this energy to the point where people say yes, people say okay, people use it to their advantage. Now, as I had a little bit of a bug, I think it was on my shoulder, on my arm rather, as I struggle, bit of a dry throat. I have a big purple octopus on my arm. I don't know if you've seen it before, but there's something about the spiritual meaning of an octopus, all right? There's something about the color purple, and there's something about the flow that you're embodying, that you're utilizing. And even, I want to say, multitasking may be coming into play, because if you think about, you know, an octopus, and I just got the message of Inspector Gadget having multiple arms, you are very strategically multitasking and prioritizing, and I want to say you're getting a lot done throughout this day to the point of epic results, okay? You are going to find once again that your passion comes in handy more than ever, while it even creates more richness within your life. I even sense that in one if not multiple ways, you're creating richness within the lives, the energy fields of others. This could even be at a distance. You know, say you're posting online like myself, but regardless, this day is meant to be full of so much passion and results. It's meant to change your life in certain small ways while preparing for bigger change. This is a time, my friend, where you're feeling things very accurately, okay? Trust in yourself, trust in your path, and trust in this Friday and how it's meant to change things for the better, okay? So those are your Friday messages. I hope they were truly helpful. Love and light.